Roar! All right, ladies and gents, let's do this thing. It is Friday. I got no guest. I got no bro. You get me all by my lonesome. So here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
The Business Bros Podcast was created for you. Learn from the business professionals who come to share their stories. Find out what's working in business, on social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of successful entrepreneurs out there doing the real work. And now, welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. Yeah, all right, ladies and gents, it's Friday. And I got to make sure that I do the show every single time. A little bit of Linkin Park to get my energy going, and let's do this thing. All right, let's pause that. First of all, I want to start off with a shout out. So to Matt DeCourcy and the Startup Hustle team. First of all, if you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you guys go to Startup Hustle. Check out Startup Hustle TV on YouTube. We're about 16 episodes in, all kinds of great information that we're sharing. A bunch of different entrepreneurs just explaining different things, different struggles that we're going through in our own businesses, the ups, the downs, the defining wins, defining goals, like how every entrepreneur approaches it is amazing to me. We all do things a little bit differently. We all have a little bit of a different focus. So check them out. Anyways, earlier this week, a couple days ago, I got this package in the mail, and it came with, let's start with this first one. So t-shirt, full scale t-shirt. First of all, I'm a fan of free shirts. I love wearing free shirts. It's just kind of my thing. I don't know. The wife kind of gets upset sometimes, but it's my thing. All right. So we got full scale shirts. I got this one upside down. Boom. Startup Hustle. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. And then the ultimate, my favorite one that we got. Check this guy out. This is a baseball jersey. Boom, look at that, Startup Hustle. And the coolest part is, got my name on the bag, dude. How dope is that? That's super epic, huh? Right? So that's going to be going up on the shelf. I'm thinking right there where we got the hula hoop. Where is it? Right there. Where that guy is, maybe I'll figure out some way to put that jersey up, because that thing's just super epic, right? Anything that has your name on it sounds really cool. All right, so let's get into today's discussion: how to get more customers. So this has been the biggest struggle for pretty much any of us. If you're an entrepreneur, you get into any type of business, you probably got super excited when you first got started, right? So I'll give you an example. And this is not just me. This happens to a lot of different people. When I got my real estate license, I was super excited. I mean, I studied. I'll give you guys a little story on that. So first of all, I used to call it my license, because I would take the real estate book and I'd put it in the one place where I knew I would do my reading every single day, which was on the toilet, right? So I learned all my real estate stuff literally sitting on the toilet. So it's my shitty license, right? So a little funny joke there. But anyways, when I finally went in to take my real estate exam, passed it on the first try, just like everybody else who passes that real estate exam, they're excited, they're pumped, right? So we go out there, we make a post on social media. We're like, hey, I got my license. I can help you buy and sell your home. And what happens is you get nothing but, let's see if I still have this on here, crickets. Right? That's what happens when you start a business. Oftentimes you have this idea and this grand scheme of things, and you run into the same problem that most people run into, which is, how do I grab customers? How do I get the attention that I need? Lately, I'm about 7 weeks in now into Billie Jean is marketing. And I'm telling you, in one of the greatest investments that I've made in my own marketing future is to just pay for a mentor. Find somebody who's kicking ass in that space, and then learn everything you possibly can from them. Pay if you have to. Go in there, spend that time, because that knowledge and that education nobody can take away from you. You can take that into any different business that you're working on. And what does Billie Jean specialize in? Getting customers. Look, let's face it. If you're going to be in sales, if you're going to be in business, you want to be the rainmaker in your organization, right? Let's think about the problems that you have in your business, right? What are the problems? You don't have enough time. Well, that can be solved with more sales, right? More revenue means you can hire somebody to help you in your day-to-day activities. More sales will help that out. What else? What else are you struggling with in your business? I don't have enough cash flow. I don't have enough enough to pay my bills. More customers will help you do that, right? Anytime in your business, sales. What was the saying that I heard? I think it was Steve Haru said it, right? Sales cure all ails, right? And that's kind of the way it works. Anything that you're ailing in your business, oftentimes you can solve with more customers. But how do we get them? Now, there's a number of different ways to do them, right? So it's all about that lead generation stuff. So there's a bunch of ways that you can do it. But the one that we're going to focus in on today, the one that I'm going to share with you, is one that is super powerful. And the top producing agents, the top producing real estate agents, insurance agents, top producing salespeople use this strategy over and over and over again. You see it all the time, and maybe you don't quite capture it the way it's designed, but it's being used all over the place. So I'm going to use an example. Gabe Mendez, right? Gabe Mendez with Century 21, crushing it. His team, the squad, they're crushing it out there. And what does he do really, really well? Now, I know you're thinking, oh, well, he posts on social media all the time. Oh, I just saw that he had a commercial on TV. He has all these things, right? But no, the key to his success is the testimonial. And I know you're thinking, well, it's not a traditional thing, right? What do you mean a testimonial? Every single time he sells a home, he does a video with the buyers or the sellers, right? Showing you and letting the customer tell their story about what happened with the Gabe Mendez group. Now, that does what? A couple things. First of all, it's creating a piece of content that is useful, right? It's a piece of content that is talking about what you do on a regular basis. And he does them over and over and over again. Every single closing, every single situation that happens, he's sharing through his customers, through his clients, he's sharing their experience with other people. Now, those people are going to do a couple things. They're going to take that testimonial video and they're going to share it because they're super excited. They just closed on their house. They're happy to have received the keys. They're excited to be throwing their open house soon, right? Their housewarming party soon. Like, they're pumped. They're excited. So when you provide a piece of content that's created like that, that is them sharing their story, sharing their experience, and ultimately sharing their win, right? The ability to receive that product or service, in this case, the house, that is super powerful. Why is that so powerful? Because it's not you saying how good you are. Like, dude, I can tell you what an amazing podcast host I am, or I can tell you, what a great realtor I am. I can tell you what a great insurance agent I am. I can tell you all kinds of cool things about me. But here's the truth. You don't really believe me, right? You are like, oh yeah, that guy's super cocky, super confident. Yeah, okay, whatever. But if my customers are telling you about the experience with me, all of a sudden it has a different weight to it. All of a sudden you're like, well, you know what? Those guys did business with them. Oh, that guy did business with them too. Oh, I know him. He did business with them too. All of a sudden you trust me a little more. I have more validity because my customers are sharing with you their experience. That's the power of a testimonial. So there's a number of different ways you can do that. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, dude, I don't know if I have a whole production crew. I use the Gabe Mendez group, and definitely he uses a production crew, right? So he has a team that comes out and does a lot of video stuff. I mean, if you ever talk to him or listen to some of his presentations, their team is all about creating content on a regular basis. He has a regimen, an alarm clock of things that he has his team, not just him and his team create content on a regular basis. Now, I'm not saying that you have to get that regimented, but you do have to talk to your clients, right? You do have to have some sort of communication. And the difference between what the top producers are doing and what you're doing is the top producers are using that time to not only share this piece of content or create this piece of content with their clients, but to repurpose it and put it out into the, we'll call it the Twitter sphere, right? Or Instagram or Facebook or wherever it is that you are congregating with your audience. So why am I talking about testimonials today? Why am I talking about getting more customers today? Because bottom line is that is what business is all about. We need to make sure that our bottom line is in the black. We need to make sure that we're constantly bringing in customers. So testimonials is just one of the easier strategies to do. We are going to revamp in the next month or so. We're going to revamp the way we do the Business Bros podcast. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. I am going to focus my attention as far as what happens on the show and what we offer as a service strictly into the testimonial business, right? Why? We've been doing this for a while now. We've been helping out customers create testimonials for their clients, and we've started to see a lot of great success with it. Our customers are happy with the testimonial product themselves. We're teaching them how to use them, how to create Facebook ads with them, how to target them in their email campaigns, how to use them on their websites and their landing pages so that they close more business. Because here's the truth. Here's the bottom line. You're going to trust me as an advisor, or you're going to trust me as to help you with your testimonials if I can show you via testimonials, right, that you're going to get more business. That's it, right? If I can help you get more business, it's going to be a win. So when what we're doing basically is we're going to take the show, and the way I ask questions right now, I've been asking a lot of questions based on the entrepreneurial experience. And my mindset comes from a younger 18 to 25-year-old, a starting entrepreneur, right? Somebody who doesn't quite know how to get started, but is asking these entrepreneurs who are on our show about their experience so I can learn. Right? That's the mentality that I'm coming from. And I'm going to take a little bit of a shift. I want to start asking things about the value that a customer brings into your organization. Right? That's kind of my mindset. What does the customer mean to you? And so as I'm going through my interview process, I'm going to be asking those sorts of questions, because what am I actually going to be doing? And this is going to be kind of cool. What I'm actually doing is I am developing small snippets, clips and pieces of content of our guests talking about the value of a testimonial. Now, they may not call it a testimonial, right? But think of it like this. I'll give you an example of what the value of a customer is, right? So your customer just completes a transaction with you, and they are completely satisfied. You've met, maybe exceeded the what you promised you were going to do, and they're happy, they're content, they're ready to exercise or use that option or whatever it is that you do, and then you do a testimonial for them. Right? Well, actually, before we do the testimonial, let's say that person is so excited, they go out and they tell their friends. They go, they have a housewarming party, for example. Friends come over and they're like, "You have got to use my real estate agent. Like he did such a good job. He was able to find us this house in this hot market. He was able to sell our house in this hot market," whatever the situation is, right? And what happens in that environment, in that spot, right, where the homeowner or whoever your client is over there telling people, those are prospective clients. At that moment in time, that prospect, that referral base, that would be an ideal time for you to be able to communicate with that person, because they probably have questions in the moment, right? I mean, that's really ideally, that's the perfect. If that client could talk about you every single day, like the clients, like that party event is happening, right? If they can talk about you like that when they go to work, and then when they're at their soccer practice, and when they're at church, I mean, your business would be rolling. So how do you do that? It's simple. You simply get that testimonial recorded. And now we have this video clip of that customer talking about you in their voice, telling their story the way it happened in their perspective over and over and over again. And this video is going to live on the internet. This video is not going to disappear. It's got a long tail effect. The title of today's episode, for example, is How to Get More Customers. Why is that the title of today's show? Because SEO, right, which is search engine optimization, when you search things on Google, you're going to find solutions, right? How to get more customers. And this video clip right here, this podcast that I'm creating, if you're listening in audio, it's video too, but this video podcast right here is my testimonial to you on the power of testimonials. So when people look those things up on Google, or they Google my name and they Google how do I get more customers, or they Google Business Bros getting more customers, what do you think is going to pop up? Going to pop up this exact episode. This exact episode is going to show up. They're going to be like, okay, I want to know more about this guy. They're going to go to our website. They're going to go to businessbros.biz, which I should probably have scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but since I'm by my lonesome, I forget that stuff sometimes. So there you go. So you go to businessbros.biz. They're going to click on the video testimonial tab. And guess what's on that video testimonial tab? Samples of testimonials, people actually talking about working with other people. They're samples of the clients that we've had already, right? So this is the power of the long tail effect. This is the power of creating video. Is I'm sitting here recording this one time, but it's going to live over and over and over again on the internet. This is one of the coolest things that happens when you have video testimonials. This weekend, we went to LA, right? But I'm in San Diego, so it's about a 2.5 hour drive. We went to LA for a family function and we had a great time. We had fun with friends and family. And then we're driving back on the way home. And I get this little notification, ding, somebody just bought a testimonial package. What? I don't know about you guys, but if I can get a check without me actually physically talking to somebody, they bought a testimonial package because they saw a testimonial video that was a referral. I mean, I don't know how else to tell you, right? Look, I took a sales DNA test. Shout out to Steve Haru, by the way, with Victory Selling. You'll see some of his testimonial stuff on our platform as well. Shout out to him. So I sat down and it was about a 45-minute test, a questionnaire on my sales skills. Right? I mean, I know you think because I'm on the podcast, I have this energy, I'm able to talk to people, that I must be a master salesman. Well, dude, honestly, I'm not the greatest salesman in the world. I just not. I have my own weaknesses, just like I'm sure you do. Right? I have a strength when it comes to presentation. I have a strength when it comes to setting appointments. I have a strength when there's a lot of different strengths. But for all those strengths, I got like 4 or 5, 10 different weaknesses, things that I'm not good at in the sales game. If that's me, chances are that's probably you too. I don't know about you guys. I don't like picking up the phone and cold calling people. That's just not my thing. I don't mind picking up the phone when it rings in my direction, right? When I have an inbound call, but I don't like making that phone call going out. I'm not a big fan of going out and knocking on doors. It's not what works for me. But every time I have a client, I go above and beyond. Every time I have a client, they know, and because I'm very, very communicative with them, right? Well, I don't even know if that's a word. I communicate well with them during the process. So they're always happy. They're always satisfied. I always try to make sure I get them from A to Z all the way through, right? So every time I have those deals, I'm always recording a video testimonial. Why? Because that's going to be where I'm going to get my next business from. That's the power of working with clients and using video to your advantage. So what's holding you back? What is it going to take for you to do a video testimonial? Now you have 2 options. Option number 1, do it yourself. It's a DIY gig. So here's what I'm going to tell you. You know, at Business Bros Pod is my handle. If you would like the questions that we ask when we put together a video testimonial for our clients, if you want a set of those questions so you can go out and do it yourself, by all means, send me a DM. I will send you the set of questions. I mean, it's very, very basic, right? You sit down and honestly, the testimonial videos, they don't take very long to record. 10 minutes tops, and you have all the content you need to make your testimonial video. Now, there is editing involved, right? You are going to have to go in, you're going to have to edit these videos, add some music, add some text, add some stuff like that. But when it's all said and done, that video testimonial is done. That's yours to use. So option number 1 is you can do it yourself. And like, again, send me a DM at Business Bros Pod. I will send you the questions that we use. Feel free to use them. I mean, we're here to help, right? Option number 2 is just to have us do it for you, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to deal with, setting all the interview dates and doing all the interviews and doing all the editing and then sending them back. And then what do I do with them after I create the testimonials? Like, how do I use these things? There's a lot that goes on. So that's why you use a team like ours. We've just been doing it for a while. So use a team like ours to help get that squared away from you. All right. So if you're going to do it yourself, I got to give you a little bit of some pointers, right? I got to give you some heads up. What are you asking when you want to do a testimonial? What are you trying to get from your client? Because I promise you this, if you just put a camera in their face and you say, hey, how was it working with me? They're going to look at the camera. They're going to say, oh, Hernan is a great real estate agent. He's the best podcast host ever. Thank you. That's not going to work, right? That's just not going to work. You have to guide them through. Okay, so think of this journey. This is the hero's journey. This is what's going to help guide your testimonial at every single point, right? It varies from business to business, but for the most part, this story format, this framework will work for your testimonials, and this is how we guide our clients to our testimonials every single time as well. So, number 1, right? Make sure you state their name and what it is that they do. That's just number 1. We got to make sure that we understand who is this person that's on video? What is it that they do? Because that's how you're going to relate to people, right? Hi, my name is Hernan Cias and I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. Now, if I put that kind of content in front of other high school teachers, they're going to make that, they're going to connect because they're all teachers, right? They make sense. I know that lifestyle. I understand that situation. All right. So name and what it is that you do. Now, hero's journey goes like this. You initially start off and you have, you might be content with your life, but you're not necessarily happy, right? And this is pretty much any hero's journey on almost any movie that you've seen. So you're going about your life, but you're missing something. Something's not right. Something needs to be completed. You have some sort of problem. So what happens is you realize that there is a challenge or a journey or something that you have to go on. You're going to change your life. You're going to actually physically leave one spot. You're going to go to another. You're going to go on this journey. Now, along the way, you're going to come across a guide, right? Now, that guide is going to help mold you, guide you, direct you, help shape you a little bit, right? And ultimately, you're going to eventually either reach or achieve the goal that you wanted to achieve. But the biggest part about achieving that goal is that you're not the same person you started as, right? You've gotten smarter, you've gotten stronger, you've gotten more courageous. There's a transformation that happens with you as the individual now that you've achieved this goal. So now that you know the hero's journey, let's take that into the testimonial phase, right? So name and what it is that you do. This is where you currently are. And one of the questions I ask is, what were you going through prior to working with XYZ, right? So prior to working with the technology company, prior to working with a real estate agent, prior to working with, insert company there, right? So the client is now thinking, okay, well, what was I going through, right? So think about the real estate agent. Oh man, we've been looking for a house and we were working with an agent before and we couldn't get into a home. We put an offer after offer and we just couldn't get into the home, right? Well, that's the problem that they were experiencing prior to life. Now, the customer's not, going through anything traumatic. They're not dying or anything. Hopefully, you're not dealing with those kind of clients. But anyways, so they have a problem. Next question, right? Enters the guide. So how did you hear about XYZ? How did you hear about the realtor? How did you hear about the insurance agent? How did you hear about the technology company? Right? And so the customer is going to say something like, I was struggling to buy a place, and then all of a sudden I saw it. I saw a video. I saw my friend buy a place, and there was a video, and he was talking about what his experience was like. And I was like, dude, I got to use that realtor. If it helped him, I can use that realtor too. So I reached out to him. That's the power of a testimonial, by the way. I reached out to him for help. Right? So now you have your hero who starts off with a problem. Now they've gone on the journey and they've been introduced to the guide, right? And now tell me in adversity, tell me something that the guide helped you do, right? So the way I usually ask it is, the next question would be something like, tell me about a time that a problem that you were going through that insert company here helped you achieve, right? Oh, and so the story would sound something like this, right? So, what ended up happening was, the realtor helped us negotiate with the seller to help get us closing costs and helped us close the deal in, instead of 30 days, we closed in 25 days, right? So the hero had a problem. He was introduced to a guide. He experienced something that he didn't experience before with somebody else with the guide. The guide helped them, get closer to the goal that they wanted to achieve. And then, of course, how do you feel? What has improved now that you finished working with them? What's changed in your life, right? And so now they're like, the story would go something like, we were talking about a real estate sale, right? So now we were able to close escrow in 30 days. I was able to save $6,000 in closing costs. And today we got the keys and I now get to raise my family in the home of my dreams, right? And this is the customer going through the story. Now they've transformed. They were struggling. They were not homeowners. And now they've reached their epic journey. They've found a place. They're homeowners now. They're more educated about the home buying process, blah, 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 right? But all this is being told from the perspective of your customer, from the perspective of your client. And if you lay out your testimonials like that, if you walk your client through the hero's journey, asking them a series of questions, and mind you, when I send you the questions, if you're looking for them, it's only like 7 questions. And as you work through the questions, you get to a story. Now the editing process becomes easier. You clip out your you clip out your clips. You just get the meat of the story. And now when you play back that 30-second, 60-second testimonial clip, now it's that client telling you a story that you hear over and over and over again. Let me share a story with you. There was an orphan child who's living with his aunt and uncle, goes off to the stars to find a new path forward. He bumps into a guide who trains him in the ways of the Force, and then he becomes the last Jedi, right? I mean, we all know that's a Star Wars story. You can do the same hero's journey with Harry Potter. Starts off young, goes off, gets trained, finds a mentor, right? Dumbledore, and boom, becomes I don't know what you want to call him, victory against Voldemort or whatever, right? Transformation journey. Every single superhero story, every single movie that you watch is the same story over and over again. So you are very competent with what that story is. The only thing is now we got to shrink it and put it on a testimonial, right? Now we got to tell that story through the eyes of our customer. Our customer is the hero, right? Not us. We're not the hero. We're the guides. The customer is the hero. And in a testimonial, we just ask the customer different pieces of that hero's journey so they can explain their story. We chop it up, and now there's a piece of content that we can use. And that piece of content is going to live forever. That is the referral that your friend saw. That is the guy that he knows that is a homeowner now that caused you to reach out to that other real estate agent. Simple. That's the power of testimonials. That's how you're going to get more customers. So again, ladies and gents, I'm going to drop this here on the bottom down here on my screen down here. If you need help with your testimonials, if you don't want to handle it, you don't want to do all the interview process, you just want to get it done, go to businessbros.biz. You can go to /testimonials and get that hookup. If you go to businessbros.biz/referrals, there will be a link at the bottom of that screen, and we'll send you a little zinger logo if that's something that you're interested in. It's absolutely free. Go ahead and check that out. So anyways, that's all we got for you guys for this week. We're going to be changing the formats. I'm super excited with all the stuff we're doing. We're just going to focus our attention on helping the customers get more business. That's it. I don't know what business out there doesn't need more customers, but we're going to be the ones helping them out. All right, ladies and gents, we'll see you guys again next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace out, y'all.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you looking to get more clients or to increase your income? Hernan, the business bro, can help you generate referrals through the power of podcasting. And James, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, can help you effectively add insurance to your existing business. If you are ready to create wealth today and generational wealth for tomorrow, email businessbros@csfirst.com to schedule a free consultation. Or join the Business Bros Network, www.businessbros.biz.